husband could have done better. That kind of less than feeling, that feeling of not being quite good enough, not quite making the grade, y'all, that erodes intimacy in human relationships. But how much more so does that impede our relationship with the Lord? How much does that just strip away the potential intimacy we could have with Jesus when we feel like we're not quite good enough, that we don't make the grade with God? It's one of the reasons I love this book in the Old Testament called The Song of Songs, because really the whole point of this amazing love story, a lot of times it's taught like God's version of the Kama Sutra, and they say the application of this is for sexual intimacy in marriage, but it's so much bigger than that. The real point of this book is the kind of amazing intimacy we can have with Jesus, our heavenly bridegroom, and how he never, ever, ever gives us a dress 2 sizes too small and says, if you'll just get into this dress, I'll fall in love with you. This book is all about how he loves us just the way we are. And I'm just going to give you 2 snippets from this story. We don't have the time to go throughout the entire Song of Songs, but I'm going to give you the cliff notes, the highlights of this story. It's based on a true love story about a guy named Solomon. Y'all know him. He was the 3rd king of Israel. He's David's smart son. And the love of his life, a girl who he calls in chapter 6, Shulamith. Now, the name Shulamith in Hebrew is like the feminine version of the name Solomon, so they're kind of like Robert and Roberta. And Shulamith starts the story with her voice. She's the leading lady. Here's how she starts this Old Testament book of poetry. She says, "Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine. Your anointing oils are fragrant. Your name is oil poured out. Therefore, virgins love you. Draw me after you. Let us run together." And she's pretty aggressive initially. My mama tried to teach me when I was younger. I grew up in the South, and my mom is very proper. And she said, "Lisa, girls don't chase boys. Girls respond. Boys chase, girls respond. Boys initiate, girls respond." I'm 52 and single. I don't know that has actually worked that well for me. But when I was growing up, I thought I couldn't ever be that honest about my romantic feelings for a man. So when I first studied the Song of Solomon, I thought, wow, Zaruni. I mean, this chick's pretty aggressive. I mean, she just lays all her cards on the table from the get-go. She says, basically, I'm really into you, to Solomon, the king of Israel. But then evidently somebody said something to her that reminded her of those feelings of being less than. Somebody in the background reminded her that she wasn't good enough to date the king of Israel, because right after saying, "I am so into you," she starts backing up, because the next passage, she kind of basically backs up. She qualifies telling Solomon that she has a crush on him. And Shulamith says this, "I'm very dark but lovely." This is in verse 5. "O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon, don't gaze at me because I am dark, because the sun has looked upon me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard I have not kept." In other words, she's saying, oh, good night. Why did I just confess to the king of Israel that I have a crush on him? I mean, there's no way a guy like that would be interested in a girl like me. I'm just a regular girl. When she says, "My brothers made me keep the vineyard," in modern context, that'd be like she's working on a farm in a rural area and she's got calluses on her hands from the weed eater. You know, she hasn't had a mani-pedi recently. And she realizes, oh, good night, I'm just a regular girl. I don't get mani-pedis. I don't have crystals on my cell phone cover. And I have just confessed to the king of Israel that I have a huge crush on him. And she realizes, why would a guy like that love a girl like me? So she starts backing up, in effect thinking, I need to get 2 dress sizes smaller before I go for this guy. But his response is unbelievable, y'all. After she says, you probably wouldn't be interested in a girl like me, here's Solomon's response. This is actually the first thing Solomon, the bridegroom in this story, and also the metaphor for Jesus, our divine bridegroom, here's the first thing he says to his would-be bride. "If you do not know, O most beautiful among women, follow in the tracks of the flock and pasture your young goats beside the shepherd's tents. I compare you, my love, to a mayor among Pharaoh's chariots. Your cheeks are lovely with ornaments, your neck with strings of jewels." Verse 15, "Behold, you are beautiful, my love. You are beautiful." In other words, yes, I have a crush on you too. I want to be with you too. It's just this incredible response once she backs